Narcissist innuendos are a great tactic that narcissistic individuals use so that they can seem like they genuinely care, so that they can come across all sweet and nice and generous and kind, so you can't recognise what they're doing to you. It's a covert method of manipulation. Their innuendos are a powerful tool, as they will go all out to hint or insinuate or suggest something that carries a hidden agenda, a hidden meaning. It's sly, it's underhand, it's suggestive. And one way that a narcissistic person will drop those innuendos is via their gaslighting, where you can have a overt method of narcissism where they will turn around and claim that you're overreacting, you're imagining things. With the covert, who's dropping those subtle hints and using those innuendos, they will turn around to you and say, "Are you sure you didn't imagine that? Don't you think you might be overreacting a little bit to this situation?" And when it comes to their backhanded comments also, they will say things such as, "Wow, didn't think you could pull that off." So they're having that sly dig at the same time to plant those seeds of doubt within your mind, to get you to question yourself without them directly stating it to you. They can also use innuendos when they are belittling you, when they're putting you down. So they can turn around and something can have happened within your life, and because the attention isn't on the narcissistic individual, they can just simply turn around and go, "I don't think it's that big a deal, is it?" So again, you're the one that's left thinking, "I'm sure it is. It is to me. Or is it? Am I overreacting? Am I imagining things?" They use innuendos to go all out to invalidate who you are as a person. When you decide to state a boundary, or when you have a personal preference, or when you want to do the things that you enjoy and the narcissist believes that you're abandoning them, that they're not getting the attention they believe that they are entitled to from you, they're going to turn around and claim, "Well, it's not all about you. So you think you're being selfish." And they will turn around with their gaslighting and claim, "Don't you think you're being a little bit selfish here?" So it seems like they're trying to point you in the right direction, because when somebody cares about another person, when you see them making a mistake that can negatively impact them or negatively impact those that they seem to care about, you can point it out to try and help them. A narcissistic individual isn't pointing it out to try and help you. They're pointing these things out to try and help themselves. They will use innuendos in their sarcasm. So if you try to call them out on anything, it's not particularly pleasant being called out on our mistakes. However, with a narcissist and their fragile ego, they take offence to this and they seek to attack back. And with their sarcasm, when you call them out on something, they can just turn around and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were perfect." To try and get you on the defensive, to try and get you explaining yourself to them. You'll notice whenever you call a narcissistic individual out on their behaviour, you're the one that ends up feeling bad. You're the one that ends up feeling guilty. You're the one that ends up blaming yourself. They use those subtle innuendos in those backhanded compliments. Now, where you might get a overt narcissistic mother with their daughter who says, "You look fat in that," and you think, "Thanks, much appreciated." With a covert mother and their daughter, they're going to say, I think that might look a bit, you could do with something a little bit more flattering." And as someone can genuinely say this, when you go to somebody for their advice and say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" and then they give you their opinion, you've asked for that advice. With a narcissist, it's unsolicited advice. And with their innuendos, it's done in a manner where it seems like they're trying to help and support you, where in reality they're just having that subtle dig towards you. They will use innuendos when they're guilt tripping you. So when they turn around and say, I guess I'm just not enough, am I? Oh, no matter what I do for you, it's never enough for you, is it? And you can actually think, hang on a minute, what I do for you is never enough, yet you're claiming it's what you do for me is never enough. And a narcissistic individual will get you to that point where they raise your expectations. So they get away with doing the bare minimum for you while getting you to run around after them, to bring back that person who can treat you well, who can be nice to you. And every now and again, they'll drop that intermittent reinforcement and treat you well, and you'll think, it was me. I know what I need to do now. And you can walk on eggshells and run around and pander to them, and they do not appreciate it. Yet they will do the bare minimum for you, and they expect that eternal gratitude from you. They can turn around and just say, oh, nobody appreciates me. So you're the one that's left feeling guilty. They can undermine you when they just turn around and go, do you really think you're capable of doing that? Perhaps that's not for you. So you start to question your abilities. When we are learning anything new, especially a new skill, even if we have a natural talent to it, it takes work, it takes practice, it takes effort. And a narcissistic individual who is envious of whatever it is that you are doing will nitpick at any slightest mistake you make on your journey and then claim, maybe that sport's not for you, maybe writing's not for you. They have that sort of sly pleasure when they say it to you because they're happy that you didn't just get it straight away. They enjoy seeing other people fail. Yeah, they tend to try and make out they're doing it in a caring manner. They use innuendos when they're manipulating you. Most of this is manipulation anyway. However, when they turn around and ask you for something and they have no respect for your boundary because they feel entitled to have everything their own way, and you say no to them, and they will turn around and claim, well, if you loved me, you would. So you're the one that feels guilty. They can turn around and claim that you're the one that's never there for them. You're the one that doesn't appreciate them. You're the one that's been selfish. You're the one that's been stubborn. You're the one that's been awkward. But they say it in that insinuating way where they just imply it rather than overtly accuse you of being it. So they can turn around and say, well, I thought you loved me. And you can think, well, I do love you. Maybe. So you're the one that's questioning yourself and not their behaviour. They're using innuendos in that blame shifting. Catch a narcissist out and they'll never trust you again. Catch them out on something and they turn around and say, well, perhaps if you hadn't have done this, then I wouldn't have done that. So you look inwards at your behaviour and not at what they've done to you. When it comes to a narcissist innuendos, they're looking to manipulate, they're looking to control, they're looking to subtly imply without overtly stating something, without making it obvious. They look to make you feel inferior so that they can feel superior. They look to make you feel inadequate so that it stops you in your tracks, so that they don't have to feel envious of you. They look to make you insecure so that you become dependent on them. They look to create that self-doubt and that confusion within your mind. They look to undermine your confidence, to make themselves appear superior to you so that they can gain the attention and admiration, so that they can believe that you're the one that's envious of them, so that they don't have to feel as envious of you. And the narcissist innuendos are a form of emotional manipulation. How you handle this is first and foremost by learning to recognise their patterns of behaviour, not just a one-off from somebody, not just somebody who's having a bad day, which we can excuse and justify narcissists with these things. It's about recognising their patterns of behaviour. Don't call them out on it. You cannot change them. It's who they are as a person. recognize it and no longer internalize it. Observe the narcissist for who they are as a person and don't absorb it. Don't take it personally. If anything, use it to your advantage as motivation to get up and go out and do it anyway, to prove to yourself that you are capable. If it is safe to do so, you need to be careful around those who lack empathy. So with some narcissistic individuals, you will have to cut off all contact, safely get away from the situation, and then go and live your life for you and not for what other people think of you. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments with people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot get no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon: 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, and how to create boundaries around those who do not respect your boundaries. I shall add the links to those in the description also if you'd like to go and check them out. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.